do what I did. I thought my life was the best that ever came along. With a mother and a father and family, kids, my brothers, sisters, and we also had our heartaches too, but the family love overcame a lot of them.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies. Blue I see. Blue skies, blue skies.
Well, I remember as a kid, I was one of 5 children, and we had what I thought was the greatest house. We had a bungalow. It was the last house on the right-hand side on Gridley Street, the bungalow. And outside the bungalow was the remains of a swamp, and there were snakes would come out of it once in a while. My father, Harry, Robert, Masterbone, that was anglicized. It used to be Masterbone, Italian. My mother, Rose Mary, 2 words. My sister, Dolores. My father's friend nicknamed her Toot, and it stuck. Toot, Toot, Tootsie. Alice. Alice was a beautiful child. I hated her. Well, you know, we had the Italian women, they come, oh, Dolores, que bella. Then they look at me and nobody said anything. My brother Francis. I have a brother Harry. He's 2 years younger than I. Bristol was famous for the bicycle brake. And of course, we had the Ingram Clock Company, where we were a clock town. It was a town of about 30,000, and there were some of us who did not like the town. We wanted to get away as soon as we were old enough. But it was a manufacturing town. At that time, Connecticut had many small shops. You could find them right across the street from each other, up lake compounds. But that was our playground compound, to go swimming and to go dancing on weekends. Well, I remember growing up, everybody else got a boyfriend and I didn't. I think it was about the end of my teens, right sometime after I graduated from Bristol High in 1941, and I decided I had to see what was on the other side of the hill. When I was just a young teenager, I saw a film of California with people sitting in their shirt sleeves watching a football game. And I said, that's for me. I want to be there in my shirt sleeves. One-way train ticket. Oh, I was so grown up. I had a seat. You know how the trains are. The end seat is facing each other. There was an Italian family, and I just happened to sit in the middle of them. And they served lunch, fried peppers and egg sandwiches. Oh, best stuff I ever ate. It was the most exciting moment. And It was the first morning that I actually looked around and thought, this is it. Here I am in California, and I'm going to live in San Francisco.
All patriots, men and women, young and old, have a part to play in the achievement of final victory.
I had to do something. This was going to be my offering, so I joined the Navy. My parents had to sign for me. I was only 20, and they wouldn't let me go till they signed for me. We were sent to Iowa for our boot camp. A little town in Iowa, can't think of the name. But there was a college there, a man's college, which we girls thought was fun, but they weren't allowed to talk to us. If they talked to us, that was bad news. They pulled us all together and told us that we could go to a camp that was already set up, or we could volunteer. And a friend and I and a couple other girls, there were 9 of us, we volunteered. And we were sent to, it was called Camp Dietrich. I think now it's Fort Dietrich. In a nutshell, I did exactly what I did on the outside. A lot of typing and clerical work, but under it all, we were working on top secret information. At that time, it was considered chemical warfare. Some of the FBI people had come to talk to them and to the surrounding neighbors about my behavior as a Bristol, Connecticut citizen, and talk about anything we wanted to except what we did in our work. The information was really top secret, and I'm surprised that I thought, well, this is such a small facility, Camp Dietrich at the time, how could it be that important? But it was. On the campgrounds, we had a little stable. We had 2 animals. One female, I think it was a lamb, 1 male, 1 female, and I still am not too sure what their role was, but it had to do with top secret information. Just these 2 lambs. Being in the waves was the most opening of my life. And I was proud to be there, and I tried to absorb everything, and I did everything that I should do, because we had protocol, you know, but that was the exciting thing, being accepted for what we could do. And we were happy. They picked me. That particular sailor we were dancing, he said I wasn't big enough to be a wave, I had to be a ripple. And I had never gone away to college, and I felt this was kind of like what college might have been like. And we all got along very well. And sometimes we didn't. But mostly we got along, and we interchanged each other's clothes. And when they came around to inspect us, it was usually on a Saturday morning, everything had to be laid out very neatly on our beds. And some of us, me included, we were kind of lazy. We didn't fold up or iron our shirts. We just let the good parts show and the other parts were underneath. So you never saw those.
We have another bulletin here. Japan surrenders. Japan surrenders. Now repeating the entire bulletin, the Japanese government has accepted the Allied surrender formula embodied in the note dispatched to Tokyo by the United States.
And many people came up to my house because I was still in the service and played their piano, and we all sang, and we all marched around the town, and then we all came back to my mother's home again. We're happy the war was over. I have to confess that a lot of us did not want to talk about the bomb, and we tried not to, but it was there. We had to admit it later, but it was not something we wanted to talk about. But we were happy that it ended things. I could be off the page a little bit, because some of us just did not want to remember anything. And they just said, just leave me alone. They didn't want to admit where they were or what they were doing. The happiest thing today is having my daughter here and her husband, and that made me very proud. This one girl that I love with all my heart, and she's here, and her husband's here. Can't get any happier. Sometimes and I think, well, you know, Mick, that wasn't a drop in a lake. That was big stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And I tried, you try to think of the enormity of the thing you were doing at the time. And at the time it didn't really impress you until it was over. No, I don't want to make it more important than it was. But we were pleased, we were proud, and we wanted everybody in the world to know it.
Gold.
Yeah.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling,
I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I overlooked before. Corny.
No.
I worked at the hospital with some veterans, and we used to get them together in a little group, and we would walk from the hospital to the football game, and sometime I had to go into the bar and get them out of the bar because they would not come with us. There they were in their pajamas and their robes, and they would sneak into the bars as we passed them. And I had to go in and get them out. That was tough duty. Unfortunately, we wore what we called old lady shoes. The shoes, which had the 3-inch heel, just like her grandmother wore. That's what we had. That was our dress shoes. And we hated them.
Smiling, 'cause when you're smiling,
We became friends, and we wrote to each other for a while, but we kind of drifted away. But I thought I'd try to renew it. We got along so well.
And did you renew those friendships?
Not yet.
Not yet.
when you're laughing, keep on smiling now. When you're laughing.
Do you need a break, Mom?
Yeah, I think so.
What?
Do you need a break?
No, I'm okay.
You're okay?
You guys might need a break.
Oh my God, I will never have another experience like this one, ever, ever, ever. I talked with hundreds of veterans. This is it.
You're a star, Mickey.
Smiling, baby, the whole world, it smiles.